Hello everyone. I have a horrible feeling that I have set up my account wrong. So I have a horrible feeling that the scheduled one that I had done is not, this is not playing in my scheduled one. So hopefully you can all find me. It usually happens. I should do test runs before I try new things. But anyway, so my name is Alisa Tilsner and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. And tonight we are going to be playing with the ink smooshing technique. So even if I am all alone tonight, I will continue on and we'll just wait for people to jump in when they eventually find me, which I hope you do. So if not, we will just continue on. So just a few little things you would have seen in the graphic before you jumped in. Hopefully I'll just come back. So we're going to be playing with this technique here, but I thought we would do something a little bit different, and I would actually use a different stamp set and maybe some different colors. So stick around and that's what we're going to play with. Now I do have some other few little things to tell you about. This is my current class by mail that I run anywhere within Australia. Here we go, we have got some people jumping in. I'm glad you found me. I have a feeling that I set it up a little bit wrong, so I don't think my scheduled bit that I did for YouTube worked. I don't think this connected to that bit, so I'll have to go back and figure out what I actually did wrong, and so next time I'll know better. I know that it works because I've done it before, but anyway. So this is the current class by mail that I did work. Oh, thank goodness for that. Phew, here I am thinking, oh no, I've done it wrong again. It's usually what happens with me. So, hi Anita, I'm glad, really glad. And you do have to, if you're just watching and you're wondering how to comment, you just need to be logged into your Gmail account, which is a YouTube thing, and you'll be able to comment with me, which I hope you do. I really hope you do comment because it's lots of fun. So going back, this is the class by mail that I have currently going. It's using the brand new Eden's Garden suite, and this one closes on the 7th of November, to figure out which month we were in. So that one is going at the moment, so anyone can join. I do have 3 options for this. So I have option 1, which is the whole shooting match. Option 2 is just embellishments without the bundle if you already own the bundle, and option 3 is just the PDF. So if you are international and you would like to purchase the PDF, or even if you're in Australia, you can do that as well. So, and one last little thing before we get started is my November host code. So if you are placing an online order with me, jot that down, or you can grab it from my blog. It's always at the end of every blog post, and if I remembered correctly, then I changed the widget in the sidebar of my blog as well. So I've had a little bit of a revamp of my blog, so I'm still getting used to where things go and remembering to change things around. So back to me. So we will swing around and we will get started. So chat along, chat with me, and let's get inky and messy, shall we? We're doing the ink smooshing technique. Okay, let's switch. Okay, and I'm using, this is the one that I did use first. So actually I'll just do a quick little plug. There's the actual cards if you were looking at them. Hello, Miss Leanne. I'll get them out of the way. So these are the cards that I made previously. We had a, oops, I've got something on there. We had a little South Pacific crafting day. I think it was just one day. Anyway, I wasn't able to watch the whole lot, but I did watch the ink smooshing, and I thought, I haven't done that for so long. So these are the 2 cards that I had made previously, and I had used the Merry Snowflakes stamp set to go with that one. Oh, can't work. In Australia, can't work with PDFs. Oh no! Is that because of the what do you call it? The metric and the imperial or something? So that's what I used with that one. But I thought, let's try and use the sweet little stockings, and we'll see how, you know, let's create a completely different card. And then I also thought, I sort of moved away from my orange and pink. I was on one of them for a while. Hi, Catherine from Texas. Kathy, sorry, not Catherine. Even with my glasses, I can't read properly. Names are in red, that's why. Oh, and I forgot to mention the awesome joining special. Good for reminding me. Thank you very much. We have a fantastic special on at the moment. We've already had somebody join my team already today, so I'm super excited for her. So the special, the special is $130 for the starter kit, and you get the same fantastic $235 worth of products. So you're getting about, I think that's $105 worth of extra product for $130. So how cool is that? Thank you very much for reminding me. How silly of me, huh? I didn't even put a graphic up about that. I should have. Okay, so we are going to play with this one, and I've pre-done one because I'm going to show you two different versions of the same technique just to show you how things look differently. And I've done one, you probably can't see it already, but I've already pre-embossed one, and I used the little boots. I hope you're not getting buffering. I think it's okay on my end. I've got full bars and everything, so, but this time I thought we'll do the little gift tag, the presents, because I wondered whether the booties looked too much like a bootie rather than a stocking, if you know what I mean. So I have to work a little bit, my camera is a little bit further up than normal. So what I've done is I've put the two gifts on there, and oh, very visual. Yep, I get that. I'm a little bit the same. I struggle to follow along with instructions sometimes. I like to just look at things. Okay, so I am going to try and get all of these done in one go where I can actually see. So I hope I'm stamping correctly. So I'm just using the Versamark. So if you haven't done embossing before, then the Versamark is a really, really sticky ink pad. And when we put the powder on top, I'm hoping I can see properly. When we pop the powder on top, it will stick to the stickiness of the ink, and then will allow us to heat emboss. Let's turn that one that way. It's going to be a bit ordinary if I've overlapped, isn't it? And excuse me if my head is getting in. I can't quite tell whether it is or it isn't. I think I've got enough space for one little one down there. We'll soon find out. Okay, excuse me, I'm old school. I've just got a piece of paper, so if you're new to embossing, you don't need fancy things. I've just got a folded piece of paper, and I am running out of my white embossing powder as well. So I'm just going to empty that whole container because there's not a whole lot left in it. And then you just give it a little bit of a shake around, make sure that all those stamped images are nicely covered. Shake it off. Oh, I just missed out on, almost overlapped. So just put that aside, try not to get your fingers in your stamped images, and then all you do is just use your folded piece of paper and funnel it straight back into your container and pop your lid on. Oh, I hope it's not buffering. I hope the replay isn't buffering either. Now I have got a few little areas on here where it's grabbed, so I'm just going to grab my paintbrush and just flick that off. You can also give your card a bit of a tap, like flick, flick, flick. I'm going to do that off camera because I always get gritty, but you'll be able to hear that, and all the little excess falls off, and give that a bit of a shake as well. So I am just going to emboss this. I'm pretty sure I've got it all. Just grab my heat tool. Now excuse the noise, okay? Can't see my head, thank goodness for that. Those greys are starting to come in. So you probably can't see this, but the heat tool is setting all of that lovely white powder and making it glossy. And you don't want to burn it, so you don't want to overheat it in case you flatten it, and you don't want to burn your fingers either. sure I got it all. I don't think and the other thing that I tend to do, which perhaps shouldn't do, is I go and I touch it too soon, like I think, oh, just check. And then I sometimes often smudge it. So after you've just heat set it, it is quite warm. Okay, so now I have got all my little gifts. I am just going to clean off the Versmart off of my ink pads using my squeaky clean chamois. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Okay, and pop them aside. Okie doke. Now I've also got one, I think I mentioned I've got one with the little, I don't know why I'm showing you because you can't actually see them anyway. You will see them soon. Now I have got a really, really old Teflon mat here. So you can get these you get them in big black rolls. They're like barbecue, for your barbecue thingies. What are they called? When you lay them down and you do your cooking on your barbecue. So you can use them, or you can, what was recommended in the little one that we had, the stamping day that we had, is that even if you just keep the plastic and keep your cardboard in here, you can actually do that on not with the label, you do it on the other side, but you can actually do it on here as well. Anything that is, won't allow the ink to seep into it is what you want. So I'm going to do crushed curry and Bermuda Bay today because of course that's my other favourite colour combination. And all you do is put down some, now that won't look like there's a lot on there, but there is actually ink on there. And then we will put down a little bit further down, we'll pop on some of the blue. Okay, and I did forget to mention that I'm just using plain old basic white cardstock as well. So we will get a little bit inky. Now the other thing you'll need is just a water spritzer full of water, and these are great. You get 2 of these. I've just bought myself some new ones. So you get 2 of them, and I think they're only $5. So, and they hold a fair amount of water as well, which is really good. I have another one that's non-Stampin' Up, but as you can see, you go through the water pretty quickly when you use one of those little ones. Okay, now the 2 different ways that I want to show you how things different is basically, and you'll need a rag as well, so is how much water you apply to your ink now. So I'm just going to spritz that on with what probably looks like a fair amount. Let me just move that up a little bit. Probably looks like a decent amount. I'm going to use, I might use the one with the Christmas stockings on it. And then I'm going to just pop half of it in and sort of give it a lift up and down type of thing. And I just want a little bit more, about halfway. And then I'm just going to let that sit a little bit because I don't want too much of it to run down. But how cool is that? And this is just using basic white. You can use the shimmer if you want as well, or you can even use the watercolor paper, but I quite like it with this. And then we're just going to swing it around and I will dip it into the blue. And of course, where your blue and your yellow meet, you will get a little bit of green. Okay, so you can actually go back where I've got puddles, extra puddles. This is where we will get very inky. Try not to get your yellow messed up with blue. So we can just keep sort of putting little bits down. Okay, and then you just need to set that aside. So that's with a little amount of water. Okay, I'm just gonna, should I put it on here or should I put it somewhere else? I'll lay it on here. I've got a few little white spots in the middle there as well. And what I sort of did also is just grabbed my aqua painter, and you know, if you want to fill in any areas or if you want to blend that line out a little bit, you can do that. Okay, so now I would like to show you that again. Just pop that aside. But this time, I'm going to add a lot more water to it, and you'll see that you get a different look. So again, popping down our crushed curry and our Bermuda Bay. And this time, let's really give it a whole lot more water. probably getting ink sprayed all over my top too. All right. And then this time we'll use the one that's got the gifts on it. Make sure I've got clean-ish fingers already. Move that up so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see I've really got puddles of water going on now. So again, just going to dip that in, and this will be really runny. Have a look at that. I obviously didn't wipe off my ink very well, and we'll dip it into that one. So you can see that that is super runny, and you can see that all the colours are really bleeding together. So it's a completely different look. And then we can go back. I've got a bit of blue in my yellow, so I'll just try and get that out of the way. Come back in. See, now I've got some green stripes happening. So it's really different. So each time you play with it could be completely different because of the amount of water that you've put on. Now you do have to remember that because this is just plain old normal white cardstock, it has become quite soggy at the moment. So you will need to definitely set it aside to dry, and don't try and handle it too much. Like that's really soggy. So I'm just going to pop that aside as well, so you can see the difference between the two. One's a lot bolder. Oops, and I've stuck my fingerprints in there. One's a lot bolder and hasn't run so much, and then the other one is really runny. Which one, what did I use? Sorry. Oh, Megan, sorry, you're not even talking to me. Don't worry, just ignore me. Those embossed stencil cards are really cool, aren't they? I stopped playing with them. I'd made enough, I think. So, okay, so I am just going to wipe that up. I am very wet and inky now, and that's not even drying properly because I've got so much water on everything. So I am just going to pick this whole thing up and put it on the floor. So, and let that dry. So nice and inky. And I don't believe I need them anymore. I probably do need the mat that I've been stamping on though. Okay, what I might do is just see if I can take that off. And I'll leave them to dry. See that, and because this one isn't so wet, it's not obviously taking so long to dry. But as it's drying, you can actually see different things appearing in it as well, which is really cool. And then as that one dries, that one will look completely different as well. So if you wanted to do like quite a few of these, I would suggest getting them all to that point and letting them dry overnight. You can use your heat tool to dry them if you want, but I do prefer to let them go on their own because I think that you get a better result, a better drying result afterwards. Okie dokie. Now we are going to use the Sentiment Christmas Greetings because I'm pretty sure that the way that mine turned out, you could easily use it as a baby card as well. But I will continue with my Christmas theme. So once again, I need my Versamark and my white embossing powder. I should have done one of these ahead of time, I suppose, but that's okay. Okay, so we will stand that down, and I don't have to be too fussy about whether I'm straight or crooked because I'm going to cut this one out, which is perhaps why I should have done it ahead of time so that you guys don't get bored. I should have had one done. Never mind. I thought I was doing pretty good. There we go. And I love the font on this one too. It's such a nice Christmassy type of font, and it's nice and strong. All right. So which stencil did you use, Megan? I ended up buying them all. I know, how dreadful is that? Anyway, that's all fun. Okay, grab my good scissors and just go around that. I will try to be quick with my fussy cutting. Okay, so across the bottom's fairly easy. I usually go round and round and round looking for a place to start, but I do want to leave a little bit of a black line, so I will go reasonably quick. And sometimes I find the quicker I go, the more even I am. Perhaps it's because I'm not overthinking it. And then around. Try not to do the seesaw-y action too much. Oops, am I even in screen? I'm doing it for me, not for you. Look at that ink under my fingernails. Oh, I should have put a coloured polish on. You wouldn't have seen it. There we go, super quick. Train station. Oh man, we don't even have trains here anymore. Not that they were. I'm assuming that you're meaning a passenger train. We don't even have passenger trains. And even our grain trains have all stopped. Okay, so we have that. Now, I think we are just about ready to put all of our cards together. Now, I do have one that I did earlier because I did want it to be completely dry when I assembled my card. So I have got a piece of Whisper White, basic white, thick cardstock, and I just have that stored and now folded. And what I am going to use is these big foam adhesive sheets because I've gotten a little bit crinkly. Hey, Lisa. Now close your eyes. Okay, there's one or two things that I have that I prefer to use that I'm not quite Stampin' Up. So just don't look. Whoops, which side do I need to go? Probably that way, I reckon. So I'm just going to cut a couple of, this is probably not good for my trimmer either. I'm just going to cut probably, do I need 3 pieces? Yeah, I'm probably just going to do 3 pieces. I'm from Mount Gambier. I know. Oops. Okay, so 3 pieces of that. Now this is a little bit thicker than the normal dimensionals, but for this type of work, I actually really like it. And I've only just got these, can you believe? So I've used one sheet. So it must come with 6 sheets. Does it say? Yes it does, there you go. So 6 sheets, and they're quite a decent size as well. So I just like to cut them into thick strips. See how it's all crinkled? So we want it we want it a little bit more sturdy than that. But you do have to remember that it is slightly, I'm going to put one up there. It is slightly thicker than your regular dimensionals. I think I'll put one down that way. I don't know, I'm just making it up. But it gives you a nice, good, solid base to be working on. Okay, so let's get that stuck down. Whoops, if I can. And it is much easier than peeling off all the little backings on multiple dimensionals. Okay, I'll get that up the right way. Now, excuse me if my head does pop in. I would like to try and get this a little bit even and straight. So I'm just going to pop that like so. I know, I have to keep using them. That's just one of the things that I really like. I use my Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer a lot, but there's just a few things that I still like to use, especially when I'm doing, ultra thin things as well, like when I just want to cut slivers off. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to use some of the white baker's twine, and this comes in the pack of the 5, so you've got all the different colours. And I want to make a fairly big bow, like not a huge bow, but I want it to be fairly loopy. A bit like me. Feel a little bit loopy sometimes. So, and what I mean by loopy is that I want to have like the big ears. If you sort of get what I mean. They're all twisted. Okay, so we want to keep that a little bit on the bigger side. And try and untwist it. There we go. No, he still wants to twist. You know what, when you have ones that do that and they don't want to sit properly, I usually just use a glue gun and make it do what it's told. So we'll snip that off. So the other colours that are in this baker's twine, so you get white, black, vanilla, crumb cake, and I do believe that's grey granite. It's probably not going to tell me on the packet, but I'm pretty sure that that one's grey granite, or you can probably use it with smoky slate as well. Find my camera. My iPhone is set up in the opposite direction because of this program that I'm using. It didn't want to go in the normal direction. So instead of working over here where I normally work, I've got to try and work over here. So I'm going to use a glue dot now. And like I said, I will make that bow stick where I want it to. So I'm just going to work out where I would like to place that, and I think that will just go. I don't want to cover up too much of my ink blending because I sometimes think that that's really, really pretty. So let's try and get that. Nope. Okay, and I'm just going to pop my glue dot down. And then I'm going to, and I want to do it on a bit of an angle because I'm going to place, I think there's somebody walking around outside my house. Do you know what? I don't think that'll matter too much because, there we go. Ha, got in. Okay, now I'm going to use my dimensionals, and you know what? I have remembered to get my black ones out because every time I use the black, I think, I should be using black dimensionals and I always forget. Now, normally when I overhang things, I will put a dimensional on the back of here. But the problem is that the backing that I've used on this one is thicker than these ones, as I said earlier. So I'm actually not going to put it on there. So I just want to make sure that around the T mark is where I will put my first dimensional so it doesn't overhang. So I can get that going like that, and then the rest should be fine. I'll probably only need 3, I reckon. I'm glad I remembered my black ones. So the black ones come in a multi-pack, so you get the small ones and the large ones in the one pack, I do believe. So, and then we can pop that. You can work out where I put my tails on the other one. Oh, look at that, now he's twisted that way again. Just does not want to behave tonight. All right, stay there, and then we'll put that. And we don't want to put, so my dimensional is behind the T, so I'm going to try and avoid putting the dimensional on the actual knot. Now, is that straight? I think it's straight. Yes, that's right. This is the second one I've gone through. I broke the handle off my first one. Oh, look at that, the little naughty thing. It just making me talk funny. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do is just to add a little bit of bling because, you know, it's got to have bling. So I'm going to just use the 3 sizes. Whoop, I've got one large one down the bottom here. So we will pop. I'll pop them over towards here, 1, 2, and then my little third one I will just pop up here, I reckon. So I reckon you could even, because that does look like a, I used the small one. I was going to use the striped stocking. I was going to use this one. And then I thought, oh, I won't be able to get as many of them on my little piece of card. So I thought I'll use a small one, but now it looks like a baby's booty instead of a Christmas stocking. But so, especially in the blue and the green, so in the blue and the green and yellow, I reckon that you could quite easily create that as a baby card, I reckon, with the booties. Okay, so that is my card. Let me just bring in, because these are drying nicely now. They're still, I would not use these as they are because the card is still really, really flimsy. Tip for me, okay, when the thread is wrinkly as it comes out from a narrow roll, yeah, okay, wet your fingers and pull the amount you need through those wet fingers and the wrinkles are gone. Well, I will have to remember that. Look, see, yeah, because they just want to twist. It must just like curl up when it's on the roll. So that's very annoying. Anyway, so there's those 3. Okay, so it's very, very, very soft still. So you definitely need to let them dry overnight. And then, of course, the 2 that I did previously. So I think it's a really cool technique. You can do it with anything, any images, even line art images you can do it with. So I think, well, as they are, they're line art images. So, or solid ones. It's all really great. So that is me tonight. So if you are watching these, now obviously you are, but if you are watching the replay, I am going to have a blog post up very shortly. Maybe if I don't get it done tonight, it will be done tomorrow, and I will have a printout that you can, it'll be these 2. I've got the instructions for these 2 and not this one. So I will have a printout that you can do. It's not a PDF, you don't download it, you can just print it from your screen. Okay, so thank you very much. My doorbell has just been ringing, so I better go and find out who is actually at my door. So thanks very much for watching, and we will see you again soon. Bye.